tuned into From the Annex. Keep it locked.
I'm the librarian. Drop the beat.
Tonight on DC DMB, we've got the one, the only, Deinfamous, otherwise known as Dave Bass Windu. And let me tell you, this is an interview I have looked forward to for such a long time. I've followed Dave's career for a while now, kind of working as a satellite, just always kind of on that outskirts. But every time I catch his sets, they are musical journeys that just keep me riveted on the dance floor, asking, what is that ID? And also then not caring because the tunes are so good, I just have to move my body. During this interview, I laughed more than I think I've laughed during any of these spotlight sessions so far. It was a pure joy to have him here in the studio, and I look forward to having him back real soon to get him on the decks, because that'll be amazing. Anyway, without any further preamble, let's get right into it and hear from the man himself. Until next time, man, everyone keep smiling. Dude, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time coming,
Yeah.
but I'm so excited that you're here.
Yeah. Me too, man.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the introduction.
Hi, I'm Dave Winley, Dave Bass Windu, Deinfamous. Even though, like, I've kind of been debating on changing my name to Bass Windu lately. Because, everyone knows me as Bass Windu. I'll play in a different city and like, oh, I didn't see Bass Windu on the flyer. I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
Do you think that's because Facebook profile is Bass Windu?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Because I know it's an alias for your DJing.
Yeah, it is. It was supposed to be an alias for my whole dubstep techno side of things, and then, it's people just know me as Bass Windu now.
So are you also Bass Windu on? I guess now I'm not thinking about it, but on Twitch or
yes,
okay.
Dave Bass Windu.
Yeah.
So I do have a Deinfamous DJ profile, but I forgot the password, and like I think so. I forgot the password, and this is when I got involved with, like, I started to live stream, and I needed to log in immediately. I'm like, okay, I'll just use the Dave Bass Windu. I logged in, set everything up, and went live.
All right.
So, but yeah, it's really, it's funny, and it's kind of like maybe feels like I have a little bit of an identity crisis. Like, who am I?
I love it.
Yep.
It's funny because I've got the profile of mine is From the Annex being the name of the show, but I'm the librarian.
Yeah.
And I only seen one other person that has a similar sort of problem like that, where it's like the name of the show is the name of their channel.
Yeah.
And so it's always this like, people walk in, they're like, oh, it's Annex, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, man, and there's another librarian, and I was like, and she is infinitely more famous than I am. And so I was like, maybe I should change my name to the Annex. And then sure enough, there's like 4 other Annexes. I'm like, nope, that's not going to be a thing.
Right.
But continue, like, what are the affiliations? Like, where's your background? Like, give us the whole spiel.
Yeah, so I've been DJing since, I don't know, 95, 96-ish, something like that.
Okay.
I didn't have my first proper gig at a club until it was like late 96. My dad had to come with me because I was still young. It was an experience for both of us. Like, the moment I was done, he was like, we were leaving, because he saw people smoking weed and all that in the venue. Like, we were leaving. I'm like, okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like,
where was this? Was this like here? Was this?
It was in Baltimore. I forgot the name of the venue. I know it's not around anymore. I think it was Club Orpheus, maybe. It's I mean, we're talking 1996. You know, that, like, it's a long time ago.
Truth.
Yeah, very long time ago. So, But yeah, but I started playing out regularly in like late 97, 98. My first gig in DC was actually at State of the Union.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Burns was playing in the main room, and DJ Genesis booked me to play the back room. That's where she had drum and bass at, and Sam the Man doing his thing up front.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But,
So you went straight into drum and bass. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a house set that happened before. It was straight D&B.
Yeah.
Where did you first hear drum and bass?
So I've been into the whole EDM dance music thing since I was a kid. So originally I'm from New York City.
Okay.
So in the 80s, they were playing house music on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, and I knew all about Frankie Knuckles, and also like I had relatives that lived in Chicago and stuff like that, and Bernard Beatty, like all those old guys, you know what I'm saying. So like I knew about them back in the day, and I loved house music as a kid, and I think I went to go visit a friend in Indiana. He actually threw a party. I think it was in like 94, something like that. He threw a party. It was like a little underground rave. Nobody was there, but then like we went to, there was Phantom 45 and JJ Jellybean was playing at a rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was like in 94, and that was like my proper introduction to jungle drum and bass. Wow. Yeah, and the rest is history. What
was the name of that rave in Indiana?
I don't know. I just remember it was JJ Jellybean, Phantom 45. There was also a techno guy that I liked, DJ Snow. He played that as well. It was like around, it was close to Thanksgiving time. I remember that. Yeah.
Now, there was a fair amount of old Indiana ravers that show up on my channel. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
And I was like, who knows?
yeah. Like his thing was in Bedford,
Okay.
Indiana. Yeah, and I remember later on down the road, he ended up throwing a party at a pool hall. He booked DJ Trax and Terry Mullen.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Dude.
my boy Pepper, DJ Pepper, he played jungle in the other area, and like he was also kind of a an influence to me as well, because like he taught me how to mix hip hop and drum and bass.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was cool.
So you had this introduction with Phantom 45 at this party. You hear drum and bass. What's your next steps?
I was in a lot of AOL chat rooms, just meeting other junglists, and then all of a sudden we were just trading mixtapes. This, I'll and I had a fake ID at the time. Don't let my mom hear this. But I had a fake ID at the time, so I would go to some parties, and every now and then Raymond, mixtape guy, he was there. So I would grab mixtapes from him. I would buy them. And then I come home, record them, and just hit up my friends in AOL the next day. Like, hey, I got this mixtape. What do y'all have? And they'd send me stuff. I send them stuff. So for a bit we were trading mixtapes for a while, and then I don't know. Like for some reason I just stopped using AOL and ICQ and all that stuff. Started seeing more and more jungle drum and bass CDs at like the store. I'm forgetting the name of the store in Baltimore that's still open in Fells Point. But I remember they started carrying like drum and bass CDs there, and like I got the LTJ Book of Mix Mag CD, and it was around the same time where, no, it was before that. Listening to different mixes and just learning how they blended records, and I started buying records, and I made my parents buy me Gemini BD10s, the belt drives. Those things are terrible. They were the worst turntables I've ever used, but I learned how to play on them. And it was around the same time where like my parents were like, you need to start getting a little bit more serious with school. So like they knew I was going out without telling me they knew. So they were like, you need to start focusing more on that and stop hanging out with your friends and all this stuff. So I'm like, all right. So with what little money I had, it was an allowance, I started buying records just so I can just keep up with the music. And all of a sudden I started DJing. I learned how to DJ. Yeah.
What was the mixer you had? Do you remember?
It was a Radio Shack mixer. It had the trigger buttons on the side. And it made sense for that because like the crossfader was just like
Absolute garbage.
Yeah, you had to had to put some oomph in like moving it side to side, so it made sense for the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I suck at scratching, so that it meant nothing to me.
I love how so many DJs have the same experience of like you ask what the first mixer was, and it's usually that. Was it Optimus? I forget what the name of it was, but it's always the Radio Shack mixer.
Yes.
And it's just like, yep, we were all there.
Yeah, we were all there. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of us did have the BD10s, but it's funny, like just looking back, because one of my older friends told me is like, look, you get the belt drives, and then like you learn on those, and you'll be able to play on Techniques, no problem. And it's true. It's true. Instead of using that, because that slider was like right there, right in front. But yeah,
that's awesome. And so now you've played your first show. Dad, took you there. That's already pretty memorable, right there. Like you're just like, usually I go like, what's your most memorable like DJ moment? But like that's a pretty good one to have. But like, what other memorable DJ moments have you had in your career?
Playing the main room at Buzz. Opening for Goldie.
Oh wow,
that was fun.
What was this? Was this the first time he came through, or was this like the second?
So this was like a little bit after they started to allow drum and bass in the main room, because before it was just strictly the main room. Yeah. That's it. But I remember like after they had Planet of the Drums play in the main room, like that's when they started to allow drum and bass in the main room.
Okay.
But it wasn't all the time. But like they'd have like bigger acts at the time. Loxy and Dylan, they were pretty massive back then. They played there. It was Goldie, Photech. They had Goldie there a few times. Playing the main.
This is Buzz, so this is at Nations.
At Nation, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, please
no,
continue.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, there's that one. Like that was pretty massive. Also playing with Subversions, doing my whole Subversions thing with Andrew, Amit, and Twisty. Like when we played at Flash opening for Goldie, that's probably my top favorite. And because I'm just with friends playing my favorite music, just having a blast, and like the crowd is just loving it. Yeah, so, yeah.
That was an amazing night, too. When did Subversion come about? Or Subversions, plural.
Subversions, yeah. So I think... So Andrew and I, we were playing... DJ Amp and I were playing out a lot together. He brought me on to Symbiotic, his company. We were throwing parties at the Paradox and also at Ground Zero, which was a warehouse. Warehouse that they used and also sometimes lived at. And Twisty, like, we both were fans of Twisty. Twisty's been doing this thing for ages with Joe Nice, and Andrew was really tight with Twisty. And like I knew of Twisty, like we spoke when we saw each other at parties and stuff like that, but I didn't know him as well as Andrew did. And he was like came up with this idea. He's like, how about we tag and have Twisty play? And originally, so the like with Subversions, what we we played on two different setups. So he would have 3 CDJs, I would have three CDJs, and like there would be a mixer in the middle that connected us all. And we would do like the same thing that like Alex and TV did. So that was fun. Like, and then not a lot of venues could fit all that gear in a booth, but that's how we started out. And then after a little while, we brought Amit on, and it was like I've known Amit for ages, since he was a kid. Yeah.
That's awesome. 3 decks with like a 4-channel mixer in the middle.
Yep.
How did the routing for that work?
I mean, it's just real simple. I mean, because I kind of did the same thing with Ill Effect back in the day as Defect. Like he would be on 2 turntables and a mixer, and I would be on 3 CDJs. At the time, it was just the CDJs that you feed CDs into.
Yeah.
And it was just a 4-channel mixer that the mixer just connects to the main mixer connects to our mixers. So he had,
all right.
It's a total of 3 mixers. And
okay.
Yeah.
I was missing the additional mixers in there. I was like, No, channels, mixers, like
Yeah.
I'm doing the math there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So, but yeah, we were just constantly just playing music. Like he would be in the middle of a mix, and I was just queuing up to tease something in or whatever. Like, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Cool. So, going back to Symbiotic, so were you playing with them previous, or was that just like that was already a group, and
Well-
then there was this? Then you guys spun off.
So, so Andrew and I, it was this Deinfamous and Amp, or Amp and Deinfamous, however they put it, and then it was Deinfamous, Amp, and MC Twisty, and then that's when we decided to do the whole Subversions thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Right on. So tell me more about we've done Subversions, but tell me about this Bully Bass that you're the co-founder for.
So Bully Bass is 100% all me. Well, Andrew Amp, he's also involved too, but it's my brainchild. After the whole thing with the Resonate, after Amit and I were, decided to part ways with Resonate, I took some time off and I did a lot of animal rescue and stuff like that. And, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I want to start up a promo company where we throw events and some of our proceeds go towards animal rescue. And that's where I came up with the idea for Bully Bass. I still haven't thrown events, as I haven't had time to. And also I have to find a proper venue. And right now with the current political climate, it's I'm not too comfortable going into DC right now to canvas and chat with club owners. But eventually, there's also a few venues in Baltimore that I'm eyeing that I could possibly use. But yeah, Bully Bass is just my thing, because for so many years I've been with a promo company that wasn't mine. It was someone else's. So we're going off of their ideas, I'm saying, their vision. I could suggest things and sometimes they go with it, sometimes they wouldn't, but I want something of my own. This is my vision, like what I want to do. I don't have to suggest anything to anyone. I could just do it. Just as long as I have the funds too. But but yeah, that's what Bully Bass is. Eventually, once we're up and running fully, because I'm very big into animal rescue. Like my wife and I, we used to rescue, we used to foster. That's why we have 6 dogs. So
What kind of dogs?
Good mixture. So I have a German Shepherd, I have a Shar-Pei Golden mix, I have a Boxer Lab mix, I have a Pit Bull, I have a Pit Bull Mastiff, and I have a Boston Terrier.
Which one is the bigger lap dog?
German Shepherd. Yeah. He will like. He likes to get up on either me or my wife and just lay there, or like, I'll be laying down and all of a sudden his ass is on my ear. I'm like, bro, get up. but my Pit Mastiff also, he likes, if he's in a mood, like he will want to cuddle. He'll put his head in your lap and your pants are just covered in slobber.
Truth.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we have some shared history with Elm Imprint, but tell us more about like your involvement with them.
So with Elm, so I was mainly more on the, because we did a booking agency for a little bit. Like I managed Will Miles, Mutt, and did some side stuff for A-sides, not officially, even though I just said that I did, but it wasn't official.
Freelance.
Yeah, and it was, so yeah, Mutt, Will Miles, and also Robert Manos. So I helped out with that a bit. I got him a few gigs when that tour was going. But I've known Patrick for a long time. So yeah, he just asked me to help out. Just like now, like he's doing construction, he asked me to help out with that. So I'm his operations manager for his construction company.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I miss him so much. I need to reach back out.
Yeah, reach out to him, man. He's just doing his thing. But yeah, and like and also with Rents, because we had Rents at Public Bar. That was our rooftop party.
Wait, Rinse was yours?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, so it was Elm Imprint. Like, so Elm Imprint, they funded Rents, but I was the person that was running it for them because, you know, Patrick lived in Virginia Beach. He's not going to drive up from Virginia Beach all the time to throw a party.
Yeah.
So, so I, you know, I handled it. So, but yeah, I was there every, you know, end of the month, just throwing that party.
Dude, those were some. I still have a lot of those flyers.
Yes.
So I was like, those were some good parties.
Yeah, it was fun, and I miss that vibe. You know, like no one else is doing like well, Flash. They have, you know, they have the rooftop things and stuff like that, but no one else is really doing like drum and bass day parties. You know, because it was perfect. You know, the party started. Sometimes it started at noon. Other times it started at 3, and it went on until anywhere between 10 and midnight on a Sunday.
Why do you think there aren't more of those?
I don't know. It could be because maybe venues, they have their own, some, you know, like they have their own rooftop party, or maybe venues is not, you know, they're not willing to open up their venue that early. I don't know, but big ups to Paul Hughes. He was the GM there. Like, he really gave us a chance, and he was working with Schimmel. Because Schimmel had his own Sunday type party there, so big ups to Schimmel as well, because they, you know, they helped us out big time with lending us that venue.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, it's really weird. You know, that's you know, I hate giving away what my ideas are, but I do want to start doing like a day drum and bass party where it's just like, you know, it's over maybe at 10 o'clock at night, and people can, you know, go home, or they can just go to the next club.
Go to the next venue.
Yeah, whatever, you know.
So is this where we turn and we go like, this is a great idea, we should do this?
Yeah.
Because I'm down with this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we should do this, you know. Why not, you know?
Like, if I can be missing all the drunk drivers at, you know, 2 a.m. on the Beltway, 100%. I'm down.
Yeah, of course, you know, like, and it's perfect too. Like, you know, if you live close to the city, and let's just say you got to work on Monday, you know, the party's over at 10, you go home.
Yeah.
Go home, get yourself ready for bed.
Yeah.
Get plenty of sleep for the next day, you know.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We need to bring this back.
Yeah, we do.
Totally saying.
We do.
Dude, that's awesome. But run me down the CG agency.
So Cybergroove.
Yeah.
So right now, I am handling Dave Owen, MC Track, Ms. Isis, Spin Scott, and I'm bringing on someone new. I can't say yet, but and of course I help out whenever they have like a UK guy that they need to find gigs for. Like, I reach out, I do my connects, and I get them gigs. But so lately I just been trying to focus more on American artists, because I mean, you know, we have people here, they're doing their thing, they're established. Like, why not? You know, we should get them gigs. So it is definitely a mission. Like, I have been successful, you know, all my artists are happy with what I do and stuff, but you know, it is still a mission, you know, and I get it, because there's just not a lot of promoters that like to take risks. You know, it's, you know, you play it safe, book the big UK guy, sell out or come close to selling out, and you're good. You know, as opposed to taking a risk and booking this smaller artists. And
But is Spin Scott and Track like not as much of a risk now? I mean, I see a lot of. I look at the traction that Trax has been able to put out with his tunes recently, so that doesn't sound like as much of a risk. And then I'm also thinking about Spin Scott, like, he is all over the damn internet.
So it's very surprising, because, and that's my kind of gripe with the whole American drum and bass scene, because these guys can go to Europe, kill it. Like, all they have to do is get on the phone. Hey, I'm coming to England in 2 months. Like, and yes, you could play here, you could play here, you could play here. Yes, you know, they'll offer, you know, they'll get all sorts of offers. But here it's just like, what's up, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it's just really kills me. It kills me. And no diss to any of the UK guys that come here and kill it every time they come here. Like, sometimes they come here multiple times a year, but
And then we don't get people.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many people that haven't come or
Yeah.
haven't come in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, you know, this like what I said with the current political climate, there's a lot of people that are scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are scared because, I mean, there's been stories, like, in actual stories of people with visas coming here and getting stopped by immigration and spending, you know, anywhere between 2 days to like several weeks in an ICE detention center, and they have all the legal documents.
That's insane.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people are scared. You know, I have been telling some of my UK buddies when they ask questions like, "What should I do?" I'm just like, "Get a burner," because I seen your posts. Don't bring that phone here.
Yeah.
But so and also visas are expensive. Like, visas are expensive, and also it's the whole process. It's like it could take anywhere between 6 months to a year to get a visa. So
Wow.
yeah, so if I want to, like, if I lived over there and I want to come tour in America, like, I have to, like, if I want to, like, come play, like, next summer, like, I have to apply right now for the visa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That puts a whole nother perception on why people may or may not come through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And no, that it's expensive. It's like $4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, and the thing is, though, you know, if you believe in your brand enough, to invest like that, then yeah, you know, but. And also, you know, there's also the risk, like, if you're not that big and you're still getting yourself a visa and you don't get yourself gigs, now you're out of $4,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a gamble. I mean, that's the music business. You know, that's just what it is. You know, you're hot today, next year, who? You know? So, but yeah, the whole agency thing, it's fun. It's very interesting. I have a lot of very interesting conversations with a lot of promoters, and I meet a lot of cool people and a lot of stupid people. But I do my best to keep my artists happy. Yeah, like, I'm really glad that I work with Track. Like, you know, I've known T for a very long time, and, you know, like, I'm very proud to say that I'm his agent. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud to say I'm all, you know, even Ms. Isis and Spence Scott's agent. Like, I'm very proud. Like,
You sure should be.
Yeah, they're great people and they're talented artists.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Who actually thinking about it, like, as you're finding these places for them to play and push, what's the weirdest place that you've had the pleasure of placing someone to play?
well, I almost got Ms. Isis a gig at a modeling thing. Like, I was chatting with a different promoter. I was like, hey, there's a promoter that she runs, like, a runway, like a model runway type thing, like, and she's looking for a DJ, but she wants, like, a drum and bass DJ. I'm like,
Oh wow.
Ms. Isis. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So we chatted. She put in an offer, and then she just disappeared. So it was almost. So it almost happened.
All right. Almost as good.
Almost.
I was like, what I really wanted to hear was like Spin Scout at a wedding. I'm just saying, like, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'm pretty sure you could play, you know, Here Comes the Bride and, like, this storming amens. Is...
I want that so bad. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, cool. Here's a question: if dream out there, who would you want to represent? Like, if you could, like, dream team here.
Shy Effects.
Oh yeah.
Shy Effects.
Okay.
Definitely Break, Calix. I'm really good friends with them, but you know, they're like, we're friends. You can't be my agent. I'm like, fair play. It's all good. It's all good. I understand. Now, they're in good hands, though. They are in very good hands. I wanted, you know, before God rest his soul, Randall passed. Like, I did want to handle his stuff. Ink, Loxy, definitely Marky. That's all I can think of right now, but that would be pretty amazing. Also Dillinger. Absolutely.
That'd be an insane lineup.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I could put them all in the package too. People would be like, "Yes, take our money."
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's funny. Like DC has been such a hub for DMB in particular, and I don't know if it like the airport has anything to do with it. Probably does, just as like a main hub point. But like when I think about the parties and the lineups that like, especially actually when COVID hit and Twitch happened, and then we all became interconnected as DJs, like especially here on this side of the pond. When I would look at lineups, I'm like, oh, like besides the regional change up, it's the party I saw 2 months ago.
Right.
You know, because it landed here first and then migrated outward usually.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's New York or Baltimore, but generally it lands DC, moves outward. And I don't think in the 90s and 2000s I had that realization.
Right.
You know, it's far more insular at that point in time. Didn't realize it. And I didn't realize how special it was. And so then when, like, you know, I look at around the 2010s, like there was a bit of a dip, like
Right.
for drum and bass, like parties in the area, and it was, you know, dubstep was on the rise and all that. Drum and bass took a hit, but then eventually it was actually dubstep that brought it back. I felt like it was like people wanted to break up the parties, and like, what was your perception at that time period of like, you know, that the bit of a dip, and then like as it took the rise?
So it's pretty funny. So like when drum and bass started to die out a little bit, a friend of a friend hits me up. His name is Steve. He ran a dubstep booking agency, and I handled bookings for dubstep booking agency for a while, and so I was there to experience that whole rise of dubstep and the fall of drum and bass. I guess it wasn't really a fall. It was just like, you know, people.
It was a trip.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, I managed Jay Kenzo, and Von D. Those two, like I managed a few others, but like those two were like my standouts. Like they, like, you know, and it was so easy just to get them gigs, you know, because everybody knew who they were. So, you know, like Steve would tell me, like, yeah, so you need to build a tour for Von D, and then later on you need to build a tour for Jay Kenzo. I was like, boom, and I did. Built him a lot of dates. So it was very interesting seeing that side of the scene, you know, with dubstep. And that's how I also got into it, because like I thought dubstep was just all like this robot noises and just, you know, all the bro stuff, not the deep heavy stuff. And which is crazy because like I liked what Joe Nice was doing, but I don't know why, but I think at the time I just associated what he was doing as two-step, not dubstep, you know, like two-step and grime and all that stuff. And then later on, I found out, I was like, no, dummy, that's dubstep.
Yep.
That's actual dubstep, you know? So yeah, but yeah, just seeing that whole change, and then like just seeing more videos of like all these big festivals where like, you know, the dubstep DJ is ending his set with the drum and bass track. It's just like, okay, all right, that's cool, you know. And you know, it's kind of like the same thing with like back in the day, you know, like, you know, just seeing stuff like that, like it just reminds me of this back in the day when like Aphrodite and Mickey Finn were king, you know. And you know, it's like, and you know, no diss to what they did, but you know, like their jump up got people into the music.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with Pendulum. You know, like I know a lot of people like, yeah, like Pendulum got me into drum and bass. And you know, and now like there's kids that like, yeah, you know, I started off with dubstep, but then my favorite dubstep artist started playing drum and bass in his sets, and that's how I got into drum and bass. So it's, you know, it's turning on like a bunch of kids to this music. So I think it's cool. You know, like I'm not a fan of the whole like, you know, the worship guys, you know, Dimension and all them, whatever. Like, you know, and it's no diss to what they're doing. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I see what they're doing. A bunch of kids. That's their introduction to drum and bass, and eventually, I feel they will get into the deeper stuff, into the heavier stuff. That, like, whether it's neurofunk or even, like, the drum funk stuff, like, like Scientific Wax. I mean, of course, it's very abstract to them now, but eventually, like, I know a lot of kids that are into that stuff. They'll travel to England just to go to the Rupture anniversary party. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a few kids like that. They started out loving, like, Sub Focus and all that stuff, and now they go to Rupture. And they send me pictures. I'm like, oh, man, why am I not there?
So how many times have you made the jump across the pond to go see the motherland?
About 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. My first actual time was Boomtown. I went
Really?
I went to a festival out there, and, like, that was the best festival I've ever gone to in my life. Like, it was amazing. And they had their main stages, which is a lot. They had a lot of main stages, but they also had stages off the beaten path. Like I remember one time I met these dudes. They were staying in a yurt right next to us, and every now and then, like, I'd venture off with them, and we're just walking. Like, we hear music in the background, but, like, it's just slowly fading out, and, like, we're not really hearing anything. And then, like, we keep walking, and then, like, we see all these lights coming from the trees, and, like, you're like, mate, this is another stage. I'm like, and I'm looking at the, I'm looking at the pamphlet. I'm like, what stage is this? And like, yeah, it's just a random stage, like, in the middle of the woods. And, like, Boomtown is huge. Like, it's a town, and it's a big town. Like, it's insane. Like, I remember we were watching Shy Effects with General Levy, and LTJ Bookham was on at main stage, Banghai Palace, and we were like, well, we need to go. Like, I want to hear hear LTJ Bookham. So we walked it, straight walking, 45 minutes from one stage to the main stage, and we passed several stages on the way. It was 45 minutes. Like, we didn't stop, nothing. We just kept walking. Yeah, and, like, and I mean, some of them was slow walks because, like, the hills were like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was insane.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, and also there's also this place called District 5 at the festival where it's an actual, like, downtown area of the town or whatever, and you walk into each building, and some of them are actual clubs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you think you're in a club until you look down and you just see dirt and grass. That's insane. It's insane. Like, Boomtown is amazing. Like, it is an experience.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it is an experience.
And that's your first time over there?
Yeah, first time.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and then I've gone to Manchester for the Warehouse Project a few times. That venue is insane. It's like two of the DC Armory parties. Like,
really?
Yeah, like, that venue is just huge. And every time I've gone there, it's just like every room, like, you're just walking through, just trying to squeeze through people. Like, it's packed.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's really packed. And also went to the Steel Yard a few times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun out there. Yeah, I even got tattooed out there. It's my Bass Windu tattoo.
Nice.
Yeah, and then and I played at the Volks Club. I was supposed to play. I got 1 year I got booked to play the Renegade Hardware thing, the Weekender, but that fell through because of all the strikes happening. Because their public system, they would strike, which sucked because, like, so the day before, so I was supposed to play that Saturday. The day before, that Friday, I was able to take the train down to Brighton to get tattooed. Took the train down, took the train back up to London. Next day, like, an Ant TC1, like, he hit me up, wanted me to come play at the Dispatch party in Brighton. Trains, could not take the train. So me, Kiki, and my homegirl Heather, we took an Uber from London to Brighton. 240 pounds down, 260 pounds back up.
Wow.
But it was cool. It was expensive, but it was cool at the same time because, like, we left Brighton at around, I think it was 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, so the sun was out. That was also another weird thing. So where we are, where England is, so the sun set I think it's sunset like at like maybe 10 o'clock in the evening. 3:30 in the morning, the sun is coming up over the ocean. And it was just very weird. It's just like, dude, what is happening? It was just so weird. But I got to see like, that most of the countryside coming, just on the ride back up. It was very interesting.
That's
It was
awesome.
very cool. Yeah, it was very expensive.
I'm sure.
Very expensive. I even tipped the Uber guy, and like I told Kiki this, and she was like, "You tipped him? What?"
You just got the best pay.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. Like when I tipped him, he was like, "Mate, are you sure?" I'm like, "Why are you saying it like that?"
Because it was a 200 pound.
Yeah. It was insane, but
That's
it was
awesome.
an experience though. It was a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite trip, even though we did a lot of walking because the public transit system was not operational.
Right on. Now, coming back stateside, you've been in the game for like 30 years now.
Yeah.
Right? What was one of your favorite parties that you've played at?
Wow. It's been a lot. So I think Buzz, like, Buzz, Cubic, whatever, will always hold a special place in my heart. That was, big ups to John Tab and Scott Henry, because, like, they, like, believed in me. They would put me on, like, all the fucking time. Like, I remember I would get some hatred online because of it, but, when I had the opportunity to play for Ben for Ben in Chicago, that was fun. That was fun because I played with it was Dane the Wild Child, Replicant, and Queen of Chaos. She's an amazing vocalist. Like she does like kind of the same thing that like Inja and Degs does, where they rap and sing and play, but she like purely she sings. And it's amazing, like this watching her play, because like she'll play like the darkest stuff, and like she's singing over it. And it's just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like her voice is, she's an amazing artist. So big ups to her as well. But yeah, that was fun. That was a very fun experience. I mean, it sucked that Ben had COVID, but that I had a lot of fun at that show.
Awesome.
Yeah, I tried Malort for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. Do not recommend it. So I made me a Malort and Red Bull. It tasted like straight up vomit. Like I was drinking. Like it's like somebody threw up in a cup and said, "Here you go." That was terrible.
So now, if those are the in-person events, as COVID hit, you made the pivot and you got on streaming.
Yep.
Were you streaming beforehand or?
Yeah, like I was streaming. So before like I had a Samsung Galaxy Note that I was using to live stream. Like I had all the cables and everything, and like all the hubs connected to it. And I was using that to live stream for a while, and like the sound quality was just it was terrible. Like it sounded like a very bad real audio player stream. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like 90. It sounded like it was like 96K. It could have been even 64. I don't know, but it was terrible.
Okay.
Absolutely terrible. And then my friend Stefan, the empanada guy in Florida, he taught me about OBS and everything. He helped me get set up with a webcam and all that stuff, and that's when like my stream started to get better. And then eventually, like I just started upgrading my gear. Like I got a Focusrite Sapphire and FireWire right into my Mac, and sound quality is excellent. But yeah, I used to like that's how I started out, because I was just live streaming on Facebook. Like it was just randomly, like I would make a post and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go live in like an hour or whatever, and just play records or the latest tunes that I had.
Did you find that the network expanded a bit when COVID hit, and like all of a sudden all the DJs are quite literally on the internet?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because like there were a few streams where like I would title it "Take a Shot" every time somebody goes live.
Mhm.
And yeah, so like hopefully I was getting a lot of people drunk. Um, but yeah, it was like I remember even for a while I'd be scrolling and like everybody is live. It's just like Jesus Christ, guys. Okay.
It was wild because when from my perspective, like there was you, there was the Sunday Skank Out for a
Mm-hmm.
while was a thing,
Yeah.
but there were very few from our circle, the DC DMV area, that were live streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, Transit actually held down,
Yeah.
and Grom and all them, but there were very few, and it kept. For me, it was frustrating because I'm like, oh my god, we have so much good talent out here. We could just own
Yeah.
like all of this game.
Yeah.
And this is where the rig got built
Yeah.
because of COVID.
This rig is amazing.
The mothership dread, indeed.
Yes.
And I can't wait to have you back
Yeah.
to play on this beastie
Yeah. Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, I'll bring records with me too, man. Like,
Oh,
I'll
please.
just...
And actually, let's do a little bit myth busting. The wall behind you is actually a blue screen.
Yeah, it's a green screen.
Green-
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
idea.
blue green. Yeah, yeah, and like now, like I've been changing it. So like one time, Jackson went to the beach, and he's like, you could come to our condo whenever you want, like while we're out here. I'm like, okay, and I wasn't able to this time. This did not allow me to, and I changed my background to the beach. Like it made it look like I was streaming at the beach, and I was like live at Dirtbox Radio's private beach location. and also like I change it every now and then. I also had U-Haul in the background.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you do one of the U-Haul COVID runs too?
Yes, I played there with Kinetiks. Yes.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I was infinitely jealous. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was fun, man, and like it was cool. Like they turned up the sound system and everything. Like it was just blasting. As I'm like, and I think I played for like three hours, something like that.
Yeah, it was. And
Yeah.
it was like, and that was after it had closed, right?
Yeah, it was after it shut down. Yeah.
And so like, it was actually seeing it still like together.
Yeah.
It actually gave me so much hope, and I was like, oh great! Like once all this COVID nonsense is over, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Womp.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been to Privilege. That's what it is now. Okay,
haven't
so
been.
it's a hookah bar. Like I tried. So A-Sides, he is tight with the owner,
Okay.
and A-Sides used to, like back in the early 90s, like 91, 92, used to release music on the owner's brother's label.
Oh wow.
So known him for a very long time. So anyways, he introduced us. And this is like after I got over my first round of COVID. I spoke to him on the phone. I was like, I have COVID. A few weeks, I'll come down, check out the spot, and we could chat. So I actually tried to throw events there. They wanted too much fucking money.
Really?
Like, it was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, they wanted a lot of money from the bar, and even when like. Because we booked Break. We had Break there twice. When we had Break with the Upbeats, Calix and TV, it sold out. Like, that party sold out. And what dude wanted at the bar, like, what he wanted at the bar for a Thursday, like, we still made less on a sold out Friday night there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, dude, like drum and bass heads are not popping bottles. Like, no one's gonna be paying like, $4,000 at the bar on a Thursday.
No, and that was the thing about drum and bass. We often chose the worst day of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we weren't the house DJs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah, he wanted 5 figures for the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, five figures figures at the bar. I'm like, no, that's. Have a good day. Thanks for the tour. I hate what you done with the place, but good luck. I mean, it's doing well because like there's been a few times where I had to run errands in DC late on a Friday night, and like the line is just around the block. So
they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing their thing, and I'm happy for them. It just sucks because I missed that venue. That was home to
What
me.
other venues do you miss?
So obviously Nation, Paradox. God, I love that spot as well. State of the Union, mainly because it's just it's just very sentimental. I mean, that's where I first met Sam. Yeah, it's the first where I met Sam the man. Club 5, even though it's a public bar now, and I'm hearing like they recently had a drum and bass party there this past Saturday. I wanted to go, but like
It's the
DMB and the DMV.
Yeah, the Young Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. But I miss Club 5, like when, before they did the renovations where that booth was all the way up there and also the rooftop.
Yep. And the light up floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an amazing venue. And of course right next door 18th Street Lounge, around the corner Club Red, Andalou, like there's a lot of venues I miss. A lot of venues.
Right.
Yeah, and also the Edge. The Edge. That place was amazing. I loved that spot. Like I remember the first time I ever saw an Allen and Heath mixer was there, and they had like the big one. Like so those would be this big ass mixer with like turntables on the side. It's like I remember I used to always joke. I'm like, oh, I gotta mix this record. Let me walk over there.
That actually brings up a good point. What is the weirdest booth setup you've walked into?
The weirdest booth setup. It was either that. I have played on a few like mixing console, like where they have like the turntables plugged into like a mixing desk. It's like, okay, it was very weird. Also, my first time seeing a rotary, and it's at a drum and bass party, and we're like, okay, where's the crossfader? It's just like, no, it's all.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, all right, I guess so. But yeah, it was very weird, very weird. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And also, there was also another time I played at a warehouse, and this was after. Because I think the day prior, I just came back from Philly, where I cut a bunch of dub plates at Scrunch. So I'm playing this warehouse thing. I'm excited to like test all these new tunes out, and I get there and it's belt drive set up. Like I put a 12-inch dub plate that it was kind of thick. Like they gave me like some thick acetates. I put a dub plate on, and the platter is already leaning. Belt drive. I'm like, I cannot play this.
Man.
Yeah, and like you just see the needle. I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right. Yeah, it was just so that was weird as well. I think Terry Kilby played that night too. It's a long time ago.
I was gonna say, when did you stop cutting dubs?
I stopped. I think the last tune I cut was when I was making music with my boy Phil and Mitch. We went by Delta Project. Man, 03, either
Really?
02 or 03 is when I stopped cutting, because I think what's the name of the tune? It was like Minekeeper was the last tune I cut. That was like, that was a tune that we did, and I remember I cut that tune, and like, that was like the last set of dubs that was in the last. That was like the very last dub plate I cut, and yeah, just after a while, I mean, because we kind of switched to Final Scratch, so we were using Final Scratch for a while, and then, the whole thing, and like we kind of got tired of this waiting. Yeah, I kind of got tired of just waiting for the party to be over to unplug all my stuff and leave. I mean, and honestly, just looking back at all of it, because like when I switched to Tractor, I had the S10 box. I would bring that with me. It was just boom boom, this disconnect, reconnect, let the first, let that person like mix out of the other turntable, disconnect, reconnect, boom, I'm done. Like I'm just thinking back now, and just like, dude, I could have done that. Just disconnected from there, disconnected, and just done all that, and I could have left because there were a lot of whack parties. I stayed till the end, man.
But man, like especially back then, like messing with the inputs like was so taboo.
Yeah, it was.
And for a long time, and so I remember it slowly becoming more common.
Yeah.
Especially as like other DJs would come in with different interfaces.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now we do have to switch the boxes out.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah.
Wild. So talk about Delta Project.
So Delta Project is me, Phil Scott, and Mitch. I forgot his last name, but we started out when because I've been in like so many different groups. Like I was also in Network. That was me and my boy DJ FaZe. He's from England. When he lived here, he was with the Syndicate crew, which is which is ran by Maya and Chris Sinestro. Like they were like the first crew that I joined up with, and FaZe was the only drum and bass DJ, and he actually introduced me to Liquid Funk.
Oh wow!
I knew about Fabio and all that, but I didn't know about Liquid Funk. He was like probably the first person in the area to play Liquid Funk. Yeah, so he introduced me to that, and then like he started playing with me, and he started buying like heavier tunes. So we would play, and we call ourselves Network. And then he moved. He actually got deported. Oops. Yeah, he it's not really deported. He just like his visa was running out, and not, or whatever, his legal whatever, like however he was here was running out. He's just like, let me go before y'all lock me up. So he left. And then Phil Scott, he was hanging out with us. He lived in the same county as me, and he was literally like right down the street. So we started DJing together, and then he bought like all the setup. Like he had the Rollins and the Axis viruses and all the stuff.
Wow.
And Cubase, and we just work on music together. Like he taught me how to make music, and we were just cranking out tunes for a little bit.
Wow.
Nothing got signed. Never got signed. But yeah, so but when him and I were tagged, we would just go by Deinfamous and Phil Scott, or Phil Scott and Deinfamous, or whatever. And yeah, and we also linked up with Titsworth, and we were doing stuff with him too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. So you got all of that going in the hopper, and then you've got Dirtbox Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to us about that. So
Dirtbox. So originally, because I've been doing the whole internet radio thing since 04, 03, 04. Because I started out with Incognito Radio with DJ Nature. DJ Nature, he actually had a radio show in College Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd have a drum and bass radio show like every Friday. I forget what time. And then eventually, I guess once he graduated from college, he lost a radio show or something like that. Who's that famous hip hop guy? Is it Rosenberg? Something?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Well, so like he was on like after Nature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is pretty. So looking back at it, like, because I remember seeing him, I was just like, dude, that guy looks so familiar now, and like, I'm like, oh my god, he was on after us. Because like Brian would invite me down to play College Park every now and then. But anyways, we linked up. We started Incognito Radio, and we broadcasted on Jungle Train and Destroyer.net. And then we stopped doing that. And then it was around the same time that ODJ started up Dirtbox, and Ill Effect started up Expansion Broadcast. Mm-hmm. And I was tighter with Eric Ill Effect. I mean, I was also tight with Jackson. Like we all were just close friends. But I think because Eric and I, and also Brian John Signal, he now goes by Signal. We all were hanging out together and stuff. And Eric started up Expansion Broadcast with Liam DJ Shade, and just started doing that, and then expansion, like eventually fell off. I mean, Eric had kids, and we all, some of us has become very busy, just can't do radio shows. And then Jackson hit me up. He's just like, hey, I need hosts, because like I'm kind of getting tired of doing this by myself every week. I'm like, I have the setup. I will jump in. So it's been like that. I forget how long I've been doing Dirtbox. It's been a few years. I think it was before the pandemic. I don't know, but this year, we turned 23. Wow. We are at, I think this week will be episode 1056.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just looking back at it, it's just like, man, that's a lot of episodes.
That is a lot of episodes.
It's a lot of episodes, and
consistency.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's been times where like, Dirtbox was like every other week, not every week, and then, I think at one point we switched up, and all of a sudden we're doing it every week. And then we left Jungle Train, and then and we got, we're on Bass Drive now, because before I think we had like 4 hours on Jungle Train. Like Jackson would do 2 hours, and I would do 2 hours. And then Jungle Train, they're only giving us 2 hours, so it's just like, all right, we switch, we alternate. And sometimes Jackson will do 2 back to back, and sometimes I'll do 2 back to back. But he's going to Sun and Bass, and congrats, he is playing. He's actually playing Sun and Bass, so congratulations, Jackson.
That's awesome.
I'm very proud of you, bro. So yeah, and I will be doing Dirtbox for the next 3 weeks.
That's awesome. It's funny because around the time of expansion broadcast happening was when From the Annex got started.
Okay.
So it was like, I remember at the time I was like, oh, hey, there's another one to listen to. And then there was another crew that came out. I want to say it was roughly around the same time. It was Vinyl Purist Radio.
Vinyl Purist Radio. Yes, that was Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hart. Him and I, like, I've known Hart for a very long time as well. Like he's from the Stafford, Fredericksburg-ish area.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually met Throwdown through Hart.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, he did the Vinyl Purist thing. Like and that was his thing. Like he was one of those. He was a vinyl purist. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing about it, Hart would always, so he would see somebody selling like a lot of drum and bass, or just a ton of records, and they would list them a lot. He's like, no, how much for the entire collection? And he would just buy it all, like, and he just like sift through like what he wanted to keep and either get rid of or just put it away and not even think about it.
And
stuff that he didn't want.
His like maze down there in that basement. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah,
like, it was like to give you an understanding of it. Like, imagine these walls full of records like this IKEA style, but a little bit. I think it was even taller than this. But it was like there was a maze, and in the middle of it there was a drum kit.
Yeah,
like I remember like walking around. I was like, wait, there's a drum set in the middle of this, but it was just like cavernous.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah, and Hart's an amazing drummer. Like
really? Awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing drummer. I forgot the name of the band that he was in. I met Hart through my boy Mikey, who Mikey was actually my first friend when I moved down from New York City to Virginia. Mm-hmm. And like Mikey, he also taught me. He was the main person that taught me how to DJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. This. That's cool. Hart though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I played on Vinyl Purist.
Okay.
And I remember it was the first time I got to play on an empath.
Okay.
And it was like one of those like mixers I never got to see in the wild. And so actually getting on, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because I had the old, the original 56 battle mixer.
Okay.
From back in the day. And so I loved how like it sounded.
Yeah.
But I missed the cueing system of the Pioneer setups. Mm-hmm. Now looking back on it, I'm like, I gave up sound quality for a cueing system, but whatever. But talking about setups, like, I mean, you're rocking 4 CDJs with the 900 in the middle.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 900 Nexus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What limitations have you found, if any, with that system?
So So, all right.
Yeah, can of worms.
Yeah, so I feel so at home, I used to use Tractor,
Hmm.
and when I live, especially when I live stream, because like people will be like, "Hey, do you have this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. Let me do a quick search. I'll play that next. I'm not announcing it. I'm like, yeah, I respond, yes, I have it. Let me just search for it, whatever." With playing on CDJs, because like when I did not have a laptop to play on, it's whatever it was on my thumb drive,
Hmm.
and I can't, like the thumb drives that I have, I think they're like 64 gigabytes. I mean, that's still a lot of
Yeah.
space, but if I didn't put it on my thumb drive, then I don't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there are times where I would be live streaming, like I'm just thinking to myself, like I'm playing tunes, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh man, this tune would go great with this. Oh, it's not on there. You know?
Hmm.
So even though I have 4 decks and I could just fly through tunes, do like 60 tunes in 60 minutes or whatever, like I still feel very limited because I don't have my full library. It's like on my laptop. So I got a new laptop. Very excited to start using it. I'm gonna go home and set up actually phase and see and make sure I'm doing everything right. I don't have my turntable set up, so I'll just grab the phase needle and just do it, turn in circles, or maybe I'll just set up my microwave.
Nice.
But yeah. I mean, like I like playing on 4 decks. It just gives me, I can just do other things, and and it's just no knock to people that don't double drop and do all that stuff, because we all have a different style.
Yeah.
Me personally, like, I like techno, and I liked watching Jeff Mills play, because he always, like, he plays the tune, but he adds more elements to it.
Hmm.
Like, that's how I try to view, like, my play style. I'm adding new stuff to a track that already sounds amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, you've been called the DJ's DJ, but how would you define your sound?
Wow. I mean, my sound is really all over the place, because I mean, when I play on Dirtbox, like you're gonna hear the like almost a full 360. I mean, I'll occasionally throw in some pop music, some popular drum and bass. We are not talking down genres here, subgenres here, okay? But I try to play it all, because I mean, not everybody's interest. Not everybody likes minimal or the hard stuff, or amens, or the jungle, or whatever. So I just try to mix it up. So I don't know, 360, I guess. I don't know, like the full spectrum.
Fair enough. It's fun because like I've definitely seen you through different audio phases of like different styles, like both on the live stream and in person. And as I was telling you about one of the first times I met you before we started recording, I remember coming in and like you had such a presence in the room, and
Thank you.
you just like, and on the decks in particular, and I was just like, oh, that's an intimidating cat. Like, and then I got to meet you, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, still intimidating, but on the other hand, like, there's a softer side there too. But I think that night in particular, because I was at Hawkins Shirts, I think I just like made my first like press of like 1,000 shirts, and I was like hawking these things, and it was so heavy. And I was just like, ooh. Like, this is before Shazam and all that would have even found drum and bass. But I was just like, oh, man, like, how close can I get to look?
And the thing is, like, I'm very welcoming. Like, someone will hit me up, like, hey, you played this track that sounded like this. I'm like, here. And, like, since I use Rekordbox, I'll just plug my thumb drive in. It'll pull up the history. I'm like, this is the history.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
what's the tune you're looking for?
Right on.
Yeah, and I let them know, and where I'll send them the link where they can buy it. But yeah,
That especially, like, that aspect of hiding tunes, for me especially, went straight out well, it went out the window before this, but even like with COVID
Mm-hmm.
and like as people came into the chat and they're like, what is that tune? And half the time it's like, oh, you can't find it on streaming service.
Right.
Like this was cut ages ago, you know, or like sometimes it's like, or that was an exclusive, but it became more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, here it is, you know.
Yeah. It always kills me whenever I see DJs trying to be like, well, no, I'm not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like I remember when, like, you know, I remember when D-Bridge made a big deal about how people like, you know, how dare you ask for an ID? It's just like, dude, are you serious? Like, someone is going to buy that tune.
Yeah, so
like they're going to
spend
put
money.
They're going to put money. If it's your tune, they're going to put money in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going to put money in your homeboy's pocket. Like, why gatekeep it? You know what I'm saying? I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, I will happily share my playlist with anyone that wants it. You know, not the tunes, but the playlist. But the playlist.
Yeah.
And you know, because my whole thing about it is this: it's like no one is going to play this tune as well as I do. And it's the same thing. But it's the same thing. Like if someone else has that tune, it's just like I'm not going to play that tune as well as you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get it,
Yeah.
and you're going to figure out what from your collection goes well with it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to make it yours. You know, just like with me. Like I'm going to play this tune, and no one's going to play it as well as me because like it's my tune. You know what I'm saying?
That is such a healthy perspective to have on that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, that's just what it is. It's my tune. Like, you know, I bought it, I own it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rinse the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know, like, I don't understand the whole thing with. I mean, you know, it's one thing if like, you know, I get sent a tune. It's just like you can play it on the radio, but don't tell anybody what it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, got it, no problem. You know, and someone asks like, what tune is this? I'm like, I can't say right now. You know.
Here's a question: how do you designate those in, you know, on the DAW, to like so you remember? Because
Right.
I've got a handful that like I've used emojis
Yeah.
of all things, and it's just like a big cross out. Like nope. Like,
So what I do, so whenever an artist tells me not, you know, that I can play it on the radio, but don't tell anybody what it is, I just don't play it on the radio.
Alright.
But at gigs, I will just put, you know, the first, you know, the initial of their, you know, the first letter of their name, and like, you know, maybe like the BPM or maybe the key of the tune, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And
interesting.
and I'll know, you know, I'll know what it is. But,
okay.
but yeah, I mean, like usually, like, you know, for tracks, like I kind of forget the artist. I'm more familiar. I know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll see the tune. I'm like, all right, I know what it sounds like. So.
And then here's an interesting: when it made the transition from physical media to being a file name,
Mm-hmm.
was it as easy to remember?
Somewhat. I mean, you know, nothing beats like having the physical
Yeah.
media of it. Like nothing beats that. But yeah, I mean, you know, just as long as like you know how to organize it. You know, I have a very weird organization.
I was just about to get into it. I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah, I have a very weird organization. So so for files, right? It's completely different from from my records, but for files. So if I don't have a lot of tunes by that artist, but so let's just say the tune is it's a neurofunk tune. I don't have a lot of tunes by that artist. It goes into the neurofunk folder.
Okay.
But if I have a lot of tunes by that label it's on, then it goes into the label name that's in the neurofunk folder. As opposed to like my record collection, all my records, they are organized by label.
Really?
Like all of them are organized by
Okay.
label. Yeah. I know there's probably something better. You know, maybe I should, but I mean, you know, it just works for me because now, you know, because I know, like if I'm looking for like a record that came out on Renegade Hardware, like I know where it is, like I know where to go, like I know what year it came out, and I could just pull it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense, especially when you're thinking of the physical of it, you know, and like, okay, like I know the label, I can recognize where it is as I'm digging for it.
Yeah, it just sucks organizing because like I still, you know, my stuff is pretty organized, but I still have a lot of records from when I moved into my house 10 years ago that I have not put away.
Dude, I get it. I mean, like, those 3 bins are probably the most well organized there.
Mm.
And then it's like the 2 squares directly behind you are all stuff I need to import.
Yeah.
And it's like Raga jungle I need to import and some like lounge jungle. I've got like my dance floor drivers here. And then the rest of all this, actually, the rest of Slant's collection that got flooded is behind you that I've restored.
Oh, wow.
And then all this, it's actually also by label, but it needs to be organized.
Mm-hmm.
And I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, it's real.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I keep meaning to actually encode all my stuff. But it's just funny. Like, I'll encode them.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing I know, like, I'm just grooving along. I'm like, you know, all of a sudden I have my headphones on and I'm DJing, and my wife's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So when I first started on Twitch, my whole, because at that time, I mean, obviously the pool was a lot smaller, but they were all DJs. I'm like, I will make an import show.
Yeah.
Easy listening jungle. All I'm going to do is just like encode all my records. You're going to come along for the ride. And then I started doing raid trains.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I kind of missed DJing too. That became the thing.
Yeah.
But I get it, man. Oh,
Yeah.
It's such a pain. Actually, here's a funny thing. When you encode, do you encode straight into a Pro Tools or, you know?
Yeah, Audacity.
Audacity.
Yeah,
Okay.
Audacity. I did. So I recently, because I'm starting to do some side work for my boy Mikey, who he edits audiobooks.
Oh, right on.
And he needs help with that. And
Okay.
you know, I know how to do all that stuff. So you know, I recently got Pro Tools, so I may start actually recording into there instead of. I mean, Audacity is an amazing program. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful free program. I use it to record all my mixes. I'm gonna start messing with Pro Tools just so I can get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that again. Start encoding vinyls. I have a lot.
Yeah.
I have a lot, and there are some times where I'm playing, and doing a radio show. I'm like, man, this tune would go. Oh yeah, it's right. It's a record. You know, it's on vinyl. So.
And I mean, this is when things get nerdy. The whole reason why I got called the librarian was because I started making these cards.
Oh wow.
And it's the BPM, harmonic key, all. Of course, these are the ones that haven't been encoded. Yeah. Because I wanted my Serato collection to look like my vinyl collection, and vice versa, and so I could build the set in Serato.
Yeah.
But then play vinyl out.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was fearful of Serato crashing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is like 02 and all that.
Yeah.
But like that was the mindset. I went into it for years. I think it was like 2010. I finally bit the bullet and was like, okay, I can DJ with a laptop.
Right.
Like, let's go do this.
You see, I was always scared with DJing with a laptop because I mean I've seen horror stories. You know, like even when Phil Scott and we were using Final Scratch, you know, we were scared using a laptop, but you know, we were very like protective of it. Like it was in a section that like, you know, only us had access to. Like no, like even if somebody were to just walk in and spill a drink, like, you know, it would get on us and not on the laptop. Because I mean, you know, we've seen horror stories and we've seen videos of like somebody just knocking over a DJ's laptop and the music's done.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy picks up and the screen is just like, you know, hanging on, and it's just like, bro.
Yeah. You just sit there and cry for them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man.
Yeah, but like, call the cops for you.
Well, here's a question. Have we missed any major highlights in your career so far?
I don't think so. You know, it's funny because I don't really look at it as a career. I know it is. You know, I know it is. I've been doing this for so damn long. But I've just been having fun, you know?
That's an awesome way to look at it.
Yeah, like I've just been having fun. And like, I speak to friends. I've been, I've seen a lot of people where like, like I don't know about DJing anymore, and blah blah blah. I was like, look, when you like when it's no longer fun, it's time.
Yeah.
Like it's time, and I'm still having fun. Keeps me young. I don't have any kids, so it's just like, I got 6 dogs, but they. I can be gone for a few hours. I come home and it's just like, oh my God, where have you been? They're so excited. They're so happy to see me, Yeah, just keep doing this until I can't, I guess,
No. That's awesome.
Or it's no longer fun, becomes a chore.
Yeah, no, you never want it to be a chore.
Yeah, once it becomes a chore, then it's just like, all right, okay, that's it.
Looking out as far as music that you're picking up now, who are the producers that you're following that you're most excited about?
So, I mean, there's always the sauce. Like the sauce is like, they are like my favorite super group. I love everything they do. Like I stalk their IG and Bandcamp page whenever they come out with a new dub pack. Like I swear to God, I'm the first person to buy it. I love the sauce. Like this is so much funk, like, and that's what I love. Like that's what like makes me buy a track. Like if the track is funky, and like, and there's funk in all sorts of different subgenres. I mean, of course, there's the whole liquid sound. There's like the deep tech-up sound. Like there's funk in there. Even like there are some neurofunk tunes that are funky, even though, it's like, I mean, neurofunk is in the name, but some of them it just sounds soulless. No diss to the genre, because there are people that love that type of music, but just to me, my preference, it just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound funky, There's a lot of music that sounds like. I'll never forget what TC told me when he was describing a certain artist who will remain nameless. It sounds like they do not know any black people.
There you go.
That influence is not in their life, but yeah, the sauce definitely, of course, Break, Amos, Hugh Hardy. There's a kid right where I live. He's like maybe 20, 30 minutes from where I live. He's 17 this year. Yeah, I think he's 17, or he may be 18 now. I forget. Alex B.
Okay.
His dad, back in the day, was Chad B.
Why is that name familiar?
Yeah, he played out a few times. And his dad was a vinyl DJ, like really cool dude. They live like really close to me. But anyways, he taught his son how to play vinyl, how to play drum and bass vinyl.
Okay.
Solid DJ. Like he's like I played with him at in Harrisburg at one of the Pulse parties. Dude was like this killing it, flying through tunes on 3 decks. It was amazing. Solid DJ. He's now making music as well.
Really?
Solid guy. Like if we were able to get Tractor to work, I would have played a few of his tunes. But yeah, he's really good. I'm very proud of him. Like he's super talented. He's
awesome.
young. He's young.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, like Breakage started out when he was 16. Like he did that Here Come the Drums remix when he was 16 years old. Wow. Yeah, so it's the youth. You know what I'm saying? Some of these younger folks, they got it. But yeah, Alex B. But yeah, mainly I just buy stuff that just sounds really funky and like good, like Mustard Music. That's a label that I recently learned about. I've been buying just about everything off of there. Who else? I'm gonna be driving home and I probably have a playlist of this be listening to that. I'm like, why did I not mention this artist? Crystal Clear, obviously. Like he came back and I'm sorry, I am in his inbox like all the time whenever he releases something new, and I'm just like, dude, drums and I'll break down his tracks. I'm like, the drums on this just sound so crispy. Like it's it's so good. And yes, anything by Submotive. I see anything by him, I'm just like, I'll listen to it later. I'm buying it now. And there's a lot of art. There's a lot of labels that do that as well. Like Metalheads, I just buy it, listen to it later, and like, you know, come to find out it's an entire like 2-step EP or whatever. But it doesn't matter. Like there's a lot of labels that I do that for. I just buy on site and I'll listen to it later, and I'll hear somebody play it on the live stream. I'm like, what tune is this? And then I find out, I'm like, I have this. It happens all the time whenever ODJ plays. Like, I'll ask him what tune it is, and sometimes he'll be like, you may have this. Like, I'm like, I do have it.
Here's a question: how often did you end up buying the same record twice?
I have like a few that I've bought twice, and the sad thing about it, so I use Bandcamp, Juno, and Beatport. So there was a Minor Forms, that's another artist. There was a Minor Forms tune that I bought on Bandcamp that I bought it as a pre-order, completely forgot about it, saw it on Beatport, I bought it. I later find out, because, you know, like, sometimes when I'm at the gym, if I run out of things to listen to, you know, run out of things to listen to, I just go to my Bandcamp playlist, because my Bandcamp playlist is just ridiculous. I've spent so much money on Bandcamp. But anyways, like, I'll go on Bandcamp, I'm like, wait a minute, I bought this last Friday on Beatport. Oh my god. So, and that happens several times. Like, you know, I'll buy the pre-order just because, like, this, you know, it's like, you know, the tune that they're showing from that EP sounds good. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll just buy the whole thing right now and just get the single from it. And then I'll just forget about it and see it on Beatport or Juno and just buy it again. And I'm just like, okay, I got to stop doing this.
There've been a few labels that, you know, who are nameless, but they will make compilations, new compilations.
Yes.
And it's like, there's like 4 tracks on there that are new, and you're like, oh, I want that, but I got to buy the whole thing to get to it. And I'm like, but I own 4 copies of that because you've already done that to me before over here. Like, is it worth it? Maybe. You pull that trigger.
I mean, I will say, like, because there were some labels that were doing, like, where they would do an album, and it would be like, there would be like about maybe 3 or 4 tunes that it's like album only. It's just like, dude, why, like, why are you doing this? You know, like, because, like, you know, the rest of the releases it's good, but it's not that good, and it doesn't really justify you spending, you know, almost $20 for a file album. You know, it would be one thing if it was vinyl. You know, I mean, of course, it'd be more than $20 if it was vinyl, but yeah. Actually,
on that note, I was looking at the notification that Juno and a handful of other, I think it was Red Eye Records, sent out about tariffs for us, like, you know, as we're buying records still, and they're like, yeah, you'll be absorbing that cost. And then I think it was a joint friend of ours bought a mixer just recently, and he got slapped with the tariffs as well that came through, and that was just a whole...
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the tariffs, they are going to hurt so many people, because, I mean, I know a lot of people, they religiously buy vinyl. Like, they, you know, they're in groups. They're in these special groups on Facebook where they do drops on Discogs. And or even you know, on Bandcamp, you know what I'm saying, like, they'll, like, Scientific Wax, sometimes they do, like, they'll release dubs, but it's only, you know, like, on vinyl, but they'll release, like, old stuff on vinyl, and you have to pick it up, like, grab it on this Friday at this time or whatever. Like, and there's going to be a lot of people who religiously buy those tunes that they won't be able to, because they won't be able to afford it because of the tariffs. Yeah, it's really insane. Like, and, you know, I am pretty concerned as far as, like, you know, what the future holds for the industry. You know, like, you know, if you're only an MP3 DJ, I mean, that's fine. Like, you know, that's not really going to affect you, but for everybody else, because, like, I still buy vinyl. If it's a special enough release, like, yeah, hell yeah, like, I'll buy the vinyl, just never open it and just put it away. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting as far as, like, like, you know, what the future holds. I hope that you know, enough people cause, and you know, there's enough of an uproar where they're like, whoa, okay, all right, okay, we're changing things back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. I mean, you know, I'll never forget just hearing that guy say. I wanted to say something else, but I just remember hearing him say, like, you know, like, you'll get one less Barbie for Christmas. I'm like, bro, like, who's still buying Barbies, old man? Like, what do you mean one less Barbie? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and it just, you know, I don't mean to get all political or anything like that, but it's just further proof, this to show this how out of touch our elected officials are. You know, they are incredibly out of touch. If you think people are still buying Barbies like that, you know, like, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna get insane. Like, you know, I was hoping to get to Switch 2 before things went into play, but it's not happening.
Yep.
No. And I'm seeing, you know, I'm seeing stuff about the new Xbox and all this stuff, and it's just like, bro, I'm not buying shit.
Yeah.
I'm not buying anything if it's not already over here. Because like there are some stores that are saying that, you know, if we have the inventory, you will not have to pay a tariff on it. But yeah, nah. And like, you know, there's places. I mean, you know, there's certain countries that, like, if it's under $800, they're not shipping it here.
Yeah.
Like Mexico said today that if it's under $800, they're not shipping anything here.
And I don't blame them. What's wild to me is, like, at one point in time I lived in Australia, and I remember the import tariffs that they had to deal with for wood products.
Yeah.
So I was a skateboarder, and without knowing this, I came over with 3 decks because I would snap decks. Just,
Yeah.
You know, part of the game.
Yeah, of course.
And I landed, and it was 200 Australian dollars for a deck. Just the deck.
Wow.
Back in the day. And this is like mid-90s. So I sold all my decks, bought a surfboard and a wetsuit. I was like, I've never been this close to the water. I'm going to go do that now.
Yeah, of course. I don't blame you, man. Wow.
But it was like, it was that sort of like realization of that's going to be kind of like our world's going to shift in that direction, or could shift in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, a lot of businesses, like a lot of things, like, are going to be deeply affected by this. And, you know, I really hope that it just causes that much of an uproar where they're like, okay, all right, sorry, we were wrong. I mean, they won't admit that they were wrong, but, you know, I just hope that, you know, and it sucks. It sucks that there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of small businesses that are going to suffer, you know, in order for things to change back. But it has to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it just really amazes me that so many of his supporters believe everything that he's saying. It just amazes me. It's just like, bro, there are like people that have been doing this for decades that are telling you what's going to happen, and you're believing this guy who's bankrupted everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So leaving politics at the door.
Yes. 'Cause I could go.
Yeah, no, dude, I get it. What are you excited about for the future right now, especially within the scene?
There's more kids getting into it. You know, I'm very proud of what DMB and the DMV are doing. I actually met the woman that runs it. Her name is Anna.
Okay.
She's amazing. She doesn't take no shit. Like, she's awesome. Like,
awesome.
I met her a few weeks ago. It was like at the World's Drum and Bass party at Bertha. Yeah, I met her there. Well, I met her the night prior at Big Dub, but we actually got to chat at that party. And like, she's very determined, has a good head on her shoulders. She knows what she's doing. Like, I told her, I was like, you know what you're doing, but if you ever need some old guy advice, like, I am here. Like, I'm happy to help you any way that I can. And
we need to get her on the channel.
Yeah, she's really awesome. She's really awesome.
Okay.
Very, like, she knows what she wants, and like, you know, I've already spoken to her a few times about like booking artists for her events. But yeah, like she's doing her thing and very successful. Like, and you know, she's the future, and I'm very excited to see like what the new generation of jungleists, like what they're going to do. I've always been about, you know, this, like about helping new people in the scene. You know, like Alex calls me his mentor, but I'm not really his mentor. Like I just give him advice if he needs it. Alex B. But you know, like I've always like, whenever I meet a new younger person, I always tell them like, hey, look, if you ever need any help, any advice or whatever, or just someone to talk tunes with, like I'm here. Like, you know, the ball's in your court, but I am here. I would very happy to talk to you. So I'm all about this. I'm just very excited to see what the future is going to do with the scene, and hopefully I can help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. You early on when I was doing broadcast radio supported. I think I asked you like, what is the tune of the year for you? And like, at some point in time, like you sent over the file and you're like, this was the song. This was the tune I played the most. You know, I don't even remember. I think I do remember what it is, but I don't fully remember what the song was. I think it was called The Whopper. And I was just like, okay, there you go.
Whopper.
Yeah, now I want to go pull it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need to think about that.
But that was the tune you were like, yeah, and it was probably like 2011, 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta think about that now. The Whopper.
No, actually, no, I take that back because it was after my daughter was born, so it might have been like 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I might have to pull that file just to see who wrote it.
Yeah, you do. And it's amazing too, you know, just like with time, you know, 11 years ago, like,
Right?
you know, it kind of feels like that was yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
It does, especially especially for me, I'm still 90s, early 2000s. Like that's my sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, those are the tunes I pull for, and then I jump forward to about 2010 because the sounds kind of aligned.
Yeah.
And now they're aligning again. And so it's kind of like this weird, like, okay, you know, like there are chunks I could totally miss.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but, you know, it's just very weird just how time is, you know. Like, it feels like, you know, certain years was like maybe last year, and there was just a lot of stuff that happened, like, prior, like, in between that time frame, you know what I'm saying? It's just very weird. It's very weird.
And especially now, I think music's getting a little bit more exciting again.
Yes, it is. It absolutely
and
is.
on all levels. Like, I still have my finger kind of in the punk scene, and I listen. And I'm like, I'm getting excited about what's coming out now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, like I've recently, because before, you know, like I've been, like 90s hip-hop, I can talk all day about 90s hip-hop. But like recently, you know, Benny the Butcher, Clips came out with an amazing album recently. Actually, Seven, Avik, and we went to go see Clips perform in Fairfax a few weeks ago. That was amazing.
Right on.
It was an amazing show. Raekwon came out with an album. Ghostface Killer's getting ready to come out with a new album. There's a lot of amazing hip hop being released right now, and it's very refreshing because I hate mumble rap. I hate all that stuff. Little young whatever. You know, I can't. Like, I sound like an old man saying it, but I just.
Have you listened or read Hip Hop is History, Questlove's book?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude, do it.
Okay.
And he, in particular, he breaks it down each generation by the drug of choice.
Okay.
Of that era. So you've got the crack era, you know, and then it gets into the mumble, and I forget what the drug is at the time, but I was listening to him in an interview, and he was talking about this is how people are self-soothing with their drugs of choice. And of course, these drugs in particular are like, I don't want to feel any emotion. And so it's like, yeah, of course they're talking mumble because that's their baseline.
Yeah.
There is no like affect. And I was like, oh, that's a really interesting way of thinking about it. And so like I've now digested the book. It's great.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah,
okay.
Totally worth the pickup.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, give me a break from reading cookbooks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, read a lot of cookbooks.
Right on, man. Well, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to my boy Andrew, Amp, Kinetiks, Twisty, of course ODJ Jackson, love you, bro. Bobby Grim Reaper, Phil Scott. Shouts to you, man.
Oh, thank you. It's been a long time coming, but I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad to be here too.
We
Yeah.
finally made this thing happen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I know we were just like, you email me and then like I would respond back like a few weeks later, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I mean, I always like have so much going on, like I have 3 jobs, but at the same time, like I don't. Like, it's very weird. And, I always joke around with my friends. I'm like, I am the most busy unemployed person ever because I just have so much going on. And, I'm unemployed, but I'm not unemployed. Like I said, I help out with Patrick's thing. I actually went down to Virginia Beach to do some manual labor with him and Will Miles.
Right on.
Yeah, and then, I played in North Carolina that week. But yeah, like I'm always doing something. Always. From like, 8 to like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm always moving around. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, my watch reminds me, it's like, go to sleep.
I know that.
Yeah.
It's when it goes all black, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, your bedtime is set for this. Go to sleep.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming out, man. It has been an absolute riot.
It was fun, man.
So here's my final question.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs to be in the hot seat next?
Who? Have you had ODJ?
No.
Yeah, you should have him.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wicked. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
To all you out there, man, please follow him. All the links will be down in the doodly-doo. And, we'll catch you all on the flip.
All right. Peace.
Peace.